many people face tragedy.
In 1991, on the brink of war.
We're a 24-hour news network looking for a 24-hour story, and one just fell from the sky.
All the networks ran for cover.
Who do you want? I want Ingrid Formanek. What would I do without you?
Die a lonely death.
But only one crew had the courage.
You know who this is? This is CNN. 24 hours a day. Is it news or is it music?
John Holland, CNN.
To get the story.
Why would President Saddam Hussein do CNN?
Because he watches it.
I want all my employees to come home standing up.
Where in hell?
Okay, we go now.
Right here.
ABC and CBS are pulling out.
Oh, no story is worth risking your life.
Nothing you can do to stop this, especially dying.
I'm not going to walk away from a great story.
Know what just happened? We just became the story.
Peter Arnett, CNN Baghdad.
Guys, something's up. Everybody's saying we gotta get out of here.
I want you to stay. I'm asking you to go.
Tell Chris that we are going live to Baghdad.
The skies over Baghdad have been illuminated.
Anti-aircraft fire.
Last explosion was in the western part of the city.
Tremendous lightning in the sky. A lightning like effect.
Probably telecommunications out of there now continue to belong to CNN.
This is CNN reporting live from Baghdad.
Welcome to day 23 of Michael Keaton Month, where I'll be reviewing all the movies that Michael Keaton has appeared in, and today I'm going to be talking about the TV movie Live from Baghdad. This was released on TV on HBO on the 7th of December 2002. The tagline was "The Gulf War, 1991. No story is worth dying for, but this was the story of a lifetime." And I guess you could say it was. The story of the movie is about a news crew from CNN who go over to Baghdad in Iraq around the time of the Gulf War in 1990, and they stayed there for around 6 months, I believe, and it all culminates in the middle of January 1991 when the US actually started bombing Iraq, and CNN actually getting the story. So Michael Keaton plays a guy called Robert Wiener, who is a real-life news producer who went over championing, CNN, the network, and trying to get new stories and things like that. And we see the movie from the moment they get there to the moment that they leave, and trying to get different stories and trying to get an interview with Saddam Hussein and stuff like that. And then again, it all culminates in the bombs being dropped on Iraq, on Baghdad even. And what happens is, and I never knew this, I didn't know anything about the story or the fact that this is true and everything. I mean, I was only I was a kid when this actually happened, and I've never been too interested in war history, to be honest. And I'll get to that at the end of this video. There's something I want to say about that, but. So, well, for me, so it was informative, so I actually kind of learned something about the Gulf War, and yeah, Keaton plays Robert Wiener, and I think he did a great job. There was a couple of funny moments in it, but it's mainly about Robert Wiener's frustration, basically, trying to get the good stories and trying to just, get that career-defining, breaking story, It's more focused, I guess, in a way, on his personal kind of career as a news producer, a journalist, whatever you want to call it. And he's there with another producer called Ingrid Formanek. I don't know if this was a real person. She's played by Helena Bonham Carter, who's a great actress. I really like her in quite a few things, and she did a great job too. I didn't know this. I mean, this movie is, again, a TV movie. There's not that much information out there about it, but after the credits rolled, I saw that Robert Wiener himself was one of the 4 people who wrote the screenplay for the TV movie. He was also an executive producer, and the movie is based on the book that he wrote. So I looked that up, outside of any of the kind of movie pages, and found out that he had written a book called Live from Baghdad, in which he recounts his 6 months in Iraq at the time. And I'm actually interested in reading it, Not my kind of thing whatsoever, but I'm interested to see how it differs from the book and that kind of thing. Because, I don't know, it drew me in. And I never thought I'd say that again. Yesterday's, you know, A Shot of Glory, a football movie. I never thought I'd enjoy that. I never thought I'd enjoy a movie set in Iraq. You know, just war and things like that. They don't really interest me. You know, I've never seen Saving Private Ryan because war movies don't interest me that much. And again, I'll get to that at the end of the video. But yeah, so despite myself, I really enjoyed it, and I love the relationship between Robert and Ingrid. You know, it was kind of underplayed. There's something going on there between them, although he says he's married and has kids, and you know, usually they've got drunk together on 10 different countries, and something may or may not have happened, and you can tell there's a spark there and that they like each other, and I enjoyed their chemistry. Again, understated, and I just thought Helena Bonham Carter in particular was great in this movie. David Suchet, also brilliant in the movie. He plays a kind of, I wouldn't know what you would call the technical term for it, but he's kind of the middleman between CNN, or rather Robert, and you know, the Iraqis, you know, Saddam and all that kind of thing, setting up the interview with Saddam. They don't get it at first. Another news network gets the interview before him, which he's very pissed off about, but he eventually gets it through this guy played by David Suchet, who I really thought was David Suchet, but I wasn't sure. He kind of, they did something to him, I'm not sure what it was, but he looked like he could be an Iraqi, and you know, his accent, it fooled me. It was only when the credits rolled and I thought, it is David Suchet. So he did a fantastic job in my opinion. He's probably most well known in the UK for playing Poirot in the acclaimed ITV dramas. And yeah, I thought he was great, and I liked his relationship with Robert and Michael Keaton in particular. Yeah, so I just enjoyed the story, and I was taken with it. And when it got to the end where, you know, they found out that the US were going to be bombing Baghdad, and you know, Robert's like, you know, saying to his crew who'd been in this hotel the whole time, if you want to go, there's a plane leaving tomorrow morning, I'm staying, you know. And he even says to some of his crew, I think you should go, you know, I can just do it with this guy. And you know, a few of them stay behind. Well, actually no, because it starts bombing. They start bombing before they can even leave, and they manage to kind of be the only people, the only network who has the exclusive on it, because Robert managed to kind of arrange to have a 4-wire radio setup where he could speak directly to Atlanta with CNN. So they actually broadcast live during the bombings, doing kind of audio commentary with you know, the reporters that he had with him, Robert Wiener. And we see, probably one of my favourite things about the film, we see archive footage of actual TV stations reporting the news via CNN. This was a big coup for CNN, and them saying that, you know, oh, CNN have gone from being the little network that could to, like, you know, the next big thing. So obviously this was a turning point for CNN to get this big exclusive story. And you know, as Robert says on the phone to CNN when he says, I'm going to stay through the bombings, you know, this is my walk on the moon. Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie, and I kind of feel guilty because I enjoyed it. Because towards the end, you know, when the bombings happen and they're there, you know, and they're in the hotel and they're watching all this, you know, the firing going on, the bombs drop in, and they got the cameras rolling, you know, they're commentating on it through the radio, and you know, and Keaton's like, yes, we got this. And I was like, yeah, this is great. You know, I was rooting for them to get the story, but then I realized that it was, you know, it's their own country bombing this country, you know, and that's what I wanted to kind of get into a little bit. For me, you know, I just feel like, you know, bombings and things like that, it's just, I just don't, I feel like no one's ever in the right, you know. America bombing Iraq, vice versa. Not that that's really, you know, happened. I mean, again, I don't know too much about the history of it, so I'm not going to profess to know my shit when it comes to stuff like this. But I did feel guilty for kind of enjoying that part of the movie. But they do address it at the end, you know, when David Suchet's character is walking around the rubble the next day with Robert Wiener, Michael Keaton, and you know, they acknowledged each other. They actually become friends and trusted each other, even though there was some kind of suspicion going on there. You know, can I trust this guy? And you know, David Suchet's character says, sorry, I've forgotten his actual name in the movie. He says, well, you got what you wanted, you know. And then Keaton said, well, it's not the story I wanted, you know. And David Suchet says, you know, is it? You know, questioning, you know, I think you did want this story. I think you did want them to drop bombs, and you know, I think the fact that, you know, and they don't acknowledge, they just kind of look at each other, subtle moment, and I think that's the moment and the beat that ends the movie. And so they do acknowledge that. There was also a point in the movie where they go to Kuwait, and there's this controversy around Kuwait taking babies out of incubators and something like that. And I read afterwards that was proven to be conspiracy propaganda stuff. It wasn't true, and apparently they announced that somewhere, HBO, and said that we didn't have the full information or something. Anyway, but that wasn't a big part of the movie. But yeah, for me, war, I don't understand any of it, and I've just I haven't really got strong opinions on it, but I really feel like anyone who signs up to go into the army and know that you may have to kill someone, I think it's just insane, And luckily this is going to be a review of a TV movie that hardly any people are going to watch, so I won't get in too much trouble for this, but I just think it's insane. The idea of being able to murder someone and it being okay because someone else says it's okay, I think is, again, just insanity. And I don't know enough to really have an informed opinion about it, but that's the way I choose to live my life, because for me, I just can't really worry about it, It's just so beyond me. It's so beyond my kind of control. And you could say, well, that's why the world's gone to shit, because of people like you who don't care about things and don't take any action. I do care about things. I do care when war goes on. I do care when people die. I don't think about it all the day. I don't all the time, every day, but I don't dwell on it. But there are people out there who don't care, who don't give a flying fuck, and there's so many of those people. I don't feel like it's worth my time to kind of be actively, against things, and it's just not, it's not worth it for me. I've just got to live my life and know that these leaders, these politicians, these generals, all the people who control, who have the monopoly on the world, they're going to do what they're going to do. People are going to get screwed over. People are going to get fucked over. People's money is going to get taken, people are going to get killed, and that's just the way that the world has evolved, unfortunately. It is the most unnecessary thing that the human race has ever created, in my opinion. And I'm sure everyone else would agree, but I just think, even if you took every soldier, anyone who's been a soldier, will be a soldier, is a soldier, and got them to think in their heads, I'm not going to do this, you're not going to make me. That would be like a worldwide revolt, but there would still be people who would cause trouble. It's beyond repair. It is beyond repair, and I don't mean to kind of be offensive to anyone who has served. A lot of my family are military and have served in the army and stuff. I just and I could go further and probably get myself in a bit of trouble about it, but I just think it's such a sad state of affairs that this is the way that a lot of people live their lives. It's no way to live. And it's no way to operate, and that's why, again, I felt a bit guilty enjoying the movie and thinking, oh yeah, they got the big story at the end. It's because I was invested in the characters, but it was a real life situation, But I didn't even mention that I did mention the interspersed kind of archival footage, but also in terms of other people like the President George Bush at the time. When CNN get the interview with Saddam Hussein, he comes in, we don't see his face. And then we see close-ups, like of his eyes when he's looking at Keaton, when Keaton's adjusting his microphone, and then as he talks, we get to see the actual TV footage of Saddam Hussein himself talking, and then we get the TV movie footage of the guy interviewing him. So they really do it well. I enjoyed that about it. Anyway, I'm going to cut this short now. I've ranted a bit about my thoughts on things like that, but I enjoyed it. I would definitely watch it again. I like the way that they played out Ingrid and Robert's relationship. Lily, I forget her name. I think it's Lily Taylor. I want to say Lily Taylor. Yeah, she plays the sound girl, and it's a very small role, but I like her as an actress. She's been in quite a few things that I like. Most recently, The Conjuring, and another horror movie, The Haunting. Don't see her in that many things, but she was good in this. And I thought all the supporting characters and actors in this movie were very good, including a guy who played a hostage, I guess you could say, and he got taken away, and Robert felt really guilty about it. I thought he was a great actor, and Keaton showed some great acting too. There was a British reporter who came in towards the end of the film who was really funny, and I really enjoyed the energy he brought to the role in the movie. Overall, really enjoyed Live from Baghdad. Don't enjoy war. and that's all I got to say about that. Thanks for watching, and this will be the last kind of single review for a while. There's a lot of double bills coming up. Got to cram it all in before the end of the month, so stay tuned for many more reviews. Thank you for watching.
Or maybe I'm dead and life is a pig. It's the same thing as hell.